Welcome. You're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. And today this is day number 7 of the Every Bit Counts challenge. And what I'm trying to do today is just share with you something that really counts to me. It's a little bit of something, but it counts. In the Every Bit Counts challenge today, what I'm sharing with you is the collection of seeds. And the reason that I thought that this was important is because this is something that you have to do along this time of the year as you harvest things and as you're putting up and using things. This is some butternut squash seeds that I saved. And when I cut my butternut squash to add to my soup, I just took this little container and just put my seeds in it so that I could process them at a later date, which is today. And so they're dried. These seeds are dry. And I have this little envelope where I've put the name of the squash on and the year, and I'm just going to go ahead and separate these dried seeds off of this little bit of pith, is what they call it, here in the middle of this squash that was put in this little cup to save until a later date so that I could save the seeds. And once I've just kind of broken up and separated the seeds, and because I know that these have been here for a while and that they're thoroughly dried, and I can feel that as I'm separating these seeds, I can feel that these seeds are really good and dry. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and put these seeds in this form, dried seeds, butternut squash seeds, into my envelope. And there they are. Now when I go to use these in the spring, I might have to separate a little bit. But you can see my seeds are there. They're dry and they're ready to be planted. These will go in my seed container. And I'll have these for next year when I'm just planting my garden. Now you only want to save seeds from things that you really like, that were particularly good, and that you want to be sure to have the fruits of next year. Now here's a really good brand of cantaloupe that Donald really likes. And so I'm just going to, while I'm cutting up his cantaloupe, I'm just going to take an extra minute to get this little strainer right here. And I'm going to carefully just scoop the seeds out, which I would have to do this anyway so that I could cut it up for Donald and for him to eat it. I've cut this cantaloupe in half, so I'm just going to go ahead and scrape both of these cantaloupes. You can see all those good seeds in there. Of course, there's some other matter too. Now, I'll be saving these seeds also, but these seeds are not dry. I had dried out the butternut squash seeds, but these seeds are not dry. I've got them in the strainer, and what I do is just try to loosen all the seeds off of this middle part here. I'm sure this has a technical name, but I don't know it at this point. I just call it the pith of the cantaloupe. That's what's holding the seeds there together when it's inside the cantaloupe. So I just take the seeds off of that middle part. I'm running it under the running water and washing these seeds off. Now I know there's probably many other different ways to save these seeds, but this is just the way that I do it while I'm in the middle of preparing food or getting food ready to be preserved. While I'm in the process of doing that, I just go ahead and save what seeds I can save so that I'll have them when the time comes to plant them. So I'll have them for next season. It's just a habit. It's a habit of saving seeds of things that I know that we'll enjoy. I'm running these seeds under the water and giving them a good rinse. Getting as much sticky stuff or whatever I can get off of them. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take a few minutes to do that because I have a few minutes that I'm able to do that. All right, now I have my separated and rinsed cantaloupe seeds here. And I'm going to bring them over here after I've let them drain for just a few minutes. And I'm just going to spread them on this piece of cardboard. You can spread them on a paper towel. You can spread them on a tray. Whatever you want to spread them on. But today I saved this cardboard to use for this. And I'm just going to spread them out as good as I can in a single layer. The cardboard will absorb a little bit of the moisture that's left on them. Now I'm going to just spread these out. And I'm going to put them in a place that has good ventilation, a place that they can dry undisturbed. I used to put my seeds outside, but then the birds found where they were, and I would come back and they had just picked through them and ate a lot of my seeds. So I don't dry them outside as much anymore. I find a good place in here in the house that's got good circulation, that's out of the way, and I just let my seeds air dry. And then after they've air dried, I do them just like I showed you that I did the butternut squash seeds. I just loosen them a little bit with my hands, and I put them in an envelope or a paper bag where they can breathe. Now the next thing I have to put up will be a cucumber. Now I have a regular variety of cucumbers here, pickling cucumbers that has gone, what we call, gone to seed. And that means that it's matured past the date where it would be good to eat. I have a regular pickling cucumber here, and I have a lemon cucumber. And I want to save the seeds from both of those. I have a piece of cardboard here, and because I have two different varieties of seeds, I'm going to label my cardboard. I labeled one side a lemon cucumber and one side a pickling cucumber because I'm going to use this one piece of cardboard to dry both of these different cucumber seeds. I'll do the pickling cucumber first. And I'll do it just like I did the cantaloupe. Now, since I have two different varieties of cucumbers, I'm going to have to be really careful not to get these mixed up. But I have the pickling cucumber right here, so I'm just going to take the middle out of this and scoop the middle out just like I did with the with the cantaloupe. I'm going to scrape that middle section that holds all the seeds. Now this is probably not usable. It's overgrown and cucumbers cannot they can taste really bad when they get too large to mature to eat. So I'll be just feeding this to the chickens. After I get these seeds raked out of here with this spoon, and I'm just going to do this. I'm going to break up that inner membrane that's holding all these seeds together. I'm going to break it up with my hands. And just squeeze as many of the cucumber seeds as I can out of this center membrane that's holding these seeds in here. And I'm going to put that in the compost to give to the chickens. Well, I'll give it to the chickens, and then if what they don't eat, I'll just compost that. You can compost it or give it to your chickens, whichever is better for you. And while I'm in here working on all the things that I'm working through to prepare for the winter, I'm going to take the time to go ahead and preserve seeds, to gather seeds out of the things that I know that I can use seeds from. The cantaloupe, the cucumber, the butternut squash. I'll be doing this for tomatoes, peppers. If I've got red peppers and I've dried them out, I'll save the seeds from those for next year. Any of the mature produce that I have gathered to process, I'll go ahead and gather some things that's a little over mature. Some things that have gone to seed so that I can keep the seed. And I'm going to pick out this peppy green part, rinse these, and let them drain. Now when I get all of my seeds, and most of that middle that holds them seeds together, when I get all of that drained really good, I'm going to bring it over here and put it on my cardboard so I can dry it. Now there's a little bit of that center material left on these seeds, but I'm not going to be too particular about it and try to pick all of it off, because I've got a lot of things going on today in preserving. I'm just going to spread this out, and after this dries, just like with the butternut squash seeds, it's much easier for me to work with when it's dry, to flake it off and to separate these seeds, than it is me to try to do this right now. I'm not going to spend a lot of time soaking these seeds. I'm not going to spend a lot of time washing them. Right now I'm just collecting them and doing the basic care to them that I can do so that I can get them dried for next year. This year's seeds are next year's garden. So there I have the pickling cucumber spread on their side, and now I'm going to cut the little lemon cucumber and do the exact same thing. I'm going to cut the little lemon cucumber in half. I'm going to scoop out the little middle and get these seeds. And as you can see, these little seeds here, there's not as many of them in a little lemon cucumber as there is in a pickling cucumber. Now I know the lemon cucumbers can get bigger than this, but this is about the size they grew in my garden this year. So I saved one of the biggest ones, and I'm going through the same process. I'm going to run it under the water and try to get these seeds out of this little middle part that holds the seeds. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this lemon cucumber. Seeds that I've just cleaned, I'm just going to put them over here. And I'm not going to let them get mixed up. It's a big difference in the pickling cucumber and the lemon cucumber. I might have to save a few more lemon cucumber seeds to get enough seeds, but you'd be surprised how many plants will come off of this one little lemon cucumber. That'll probably be equal to about 3 packs of seeds that you would buy from a store, and this is just a whole lot of seeds. That'll be more seeds than I need to plant for the garden, the pickling cucumber, and then it'll be some to give away. Well, I'm still hard at it. I'm still preserving every day, and I'm doing it for the year, and I cannot film or capture everything that I'm putting up. The peppers and the tomatoes and all the things, green beans and things that I'm putting up, there'd be no way I could film that myself and get it all done. The scope of the amount of work it takes just to process it is enough for me. And then, but I am trying to share with you what I can. There's the Every Little Bit or Every Bit Counts challenge, and this is video number 7 of that. And today, my every little bit that counts are seeds. My every bit that counts, a part of the challenge is to save the seeds, because this year's seeds are next year's garden. Thank you for joining me today and letting me share this Every Bit Counts challenge with you. I appreciate you. Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead, she created this challenge, and I always want to give a shout out to her because this is her challenge, and I'm thankful to be a part of it. Until next time.